Wednesday, June 1st. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. We had a little trouble doing the opener just now, but tonight we're going to talk about Zooloretto. It's like Russian roulette, but it's a board game with animals.
So many words in the opener.
Let's do this.
So, playing my Street Fighter, getting slowly but surely better, but not that great. I haven't beaten the game on medium yet.
Yeah, oh really?
Yeah, I haven't tried too hard. I've tried like 4 times.
I beat the game on hardest, right, yesterday. And you know what I learned from Daryl Surratt today?
What'd you learn from Daryl Surratt today?
My suspicion is correct, and that basically the computer cheats. So playing against the computer is not good if you want to get good against
Dude, I read some interview where one of the guys who developed or something said something along the lines of, yeah, we made that guy as annoying and cheap as possible.
Well, basically, right, the computer, the way it cheats is it looks at your inputs, right? So, think about a human being, right? Probably isn't looking at your hands. They got to look at the screen.
Are you kidding? If I'm looking at the screen and I hear on your stick next to you, click, 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 or a Hadoken, I know you're doing a Hadoken.
But think about it. The amount of time it takes for the sound to get to your ears or whatever, right, versus the human reaction time, right, is no good, right? Now think about the computer, though. I input a move, right? And as soon as I input the move, right, me putting in the Hadouken can trigger on, right? Because it can do something as fast as I put it in. So me doing a Hadouken can immediately trigger a counter to the Hadouken at the same exact moment, right? The computer can do that a human cannot do. And basically, when you play the game on hardest difficulty, the game is pretty much really easy right through the whole game. I just beat everybody. Win.
They're beating everybody.
But as soon as you get to Seth, basically they spent all their time programming him to be ultra cheap. So basically what happens is it watches all of your moves and counters them immediately, right? With whatever is available. And it's next to impossible to actually win. And basically I use no continues and I got to Seth and I use like a whole flood of continues and then eventually I won.
Now what would be interesting if we could make a little app, right? It was USB, so it controls like it's controlling a controller and a webcam pointed at the other guy playing and seeing if you could write some sort of AI or some sort of algorithm to do the same thing.
The thing is, you couldn't react as immediately, right?
Oh, no, you write a program that does the reaction.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, the same thing. It's like, if a guy does Hadouken, even if I have a camera and I see split screen his joystick and his hands, right? And somehow my brain can process and see what he's doing. I can't input something at the same exact nanosecond that he has inputted it. There is some delay between him doing it and me doing it. Whereas the computer, there is no delay because the second you push the punch button on the Hadouken, it doesn't need time to input moves. It doesn't need to think. It just, it's as if you're actually...
Focus dash forward right away.
It's as equally, if you think about it, you're actually controlling the other guy. You just don't know how you're controlling him, right? So it's like, if I do this input, it makes the other guy do this. And if I do this input, it makes the other guy do that. And you just don't know what the mappings are, exactly, Yep. So it's cheating.
What I wait for is no one has made like an aimbot for FPSs yet that just watches the game.
What do you mean there's only aimbots for FPSs? There's no aimbot.
Well, you know what?
You mean aimbot for fighting games?
I think we've invented a biological aimbot. It's a 14-year-old South Korean kid.
That's for RTSs.
I've seen some Street Fighter kids that I'm pretty sure are from Korea.
Probably, but the point is that the Street Fighter
weird.
is mostly a Japanese deal.
The breadth of skills. I mean, I'll play a guy who cannot deal with my simplified jury flowchart, which is foot Hadoken repeated until the other guy dies. Mm-hmm. And then the next guy I fight, I will never touch him and I'll only use like jabs and kicks.
Yep.
Makes me feel really. The
only thing wrong with the game
really
is it's a great game in that it has this huge, skill cap, this basically stupid high. Even the people who kick your ass and you don't even hit them once, right? The greatest guy in the world, this Diego guy, they can't even touch him. He's got like 3 times as many Xbox points as anyone else. And he's not even using his own account. He's using like his friend's account because he doesn't have an Xbox, right? So, the skill cap is huge. The problem is that the curve is not high quality, right? Like I just said, fighting against the computer, the curve is flat, and then you get to the end, it spikes straight up. It should be a linear curve. Each guy should get progressively more difficult. And then I would actually be bothered by the fact that the computer cheats less if the skill was, the difficulty of each guy was slightly harder than the previous one. And
Because no one's playing this game for the single player. That's just there as kind of like this cool challenge.
But the thing is, even with the multiplayer, right, the skill curve is really problematic because they don't, they have these trials to sort of help you, but that's not really helping you. And the instruction book does give some more information than it used to. Like it tells you that a cancel exists.
Yep.
But they don't give you a real tutorial, right? What explains, for example, right? Okay, so I jump in the air and I do the double fist that Bison has, right? And some other guy jumps in the air and he does a light kick.
So you want to know which one wins?
Which one wins?
So here, there is a manual that tells you this. It's called Game Facts.
Right, but does it matter who does it first? Does it matter who's higher in the air?
Game Facts.
Does it matter? Right? There's all these, there's no, so if I'm jumping in the air, which button do I push is the best?
I'm pretty sure Game Facts knows.
It's such a, and then there's so many possible combinations though. It's like, okay, so maybe my, strong kick in the air beats that guy's, whatever. But everyone has 6 different and then some people have an air throw. It's like you need to tell me each and every possible move and how to
make it two, make it tie,
and how to defend each and every possible move. Like there's some moves, it's like, oh, I figured out how to defend that move. You do this, but then some guy will do a move, and it's like I can't figure out any way. You can't block it low, you can't block it high, you can't jab the guy while he's doing it, you can't shield it with a focus attack.
Game Facts.
How do you beat that move?
Game Facts.
I don't know.
Game Facts.
Yeah. But the point is it should be in the instruction manual. Imagine if you bought a copy of some board game and the board game, I just did something and I got 100 points. And you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do to stop you from doing that? And I'd be like, oh, I'm not telling you. And then I just kept doing it. And then you look in the instruction book and the instruction book doesn't even say the move exists, right? And then you go to Game Facts and maybe it says something.
You go to Game Facts, you're like, Hadouken.
Yeah, you go to Game Facts and you read something, you're like, all right, let me try that. You try to do it in the game, and I go like, nope, that's wrong. It doesn't work like that. You clearly didn't understand what you read there because it wasn't in plain English. You go to some forum and some guy tries to explain it to you, and then you watch a YouTube video of some guy playing the board game, doing the thing, and then another guy stopping doing the thing, and you look at it real close in slow motion, and then you come back to the board game, and I do the thing, and then you do the same exact thing you saw in the video. I'm like, well, nope. No, I still get a zillion victory points. Sorry,
See, at least
you got it wrong.
Good. It is good that we are both bad at fighting games and RTSs.
No, I don't think even the guy, right? So think about this, though, right? Oh, we're bad at fighting games and RTSs, right? That Diego guy who has 3 times more Xbox points than anybody.
Yeah.
You think he's going to beat us at like Puerto Rico? No, it ain't gonna happen.
But
right?
I'm saying it's good that we play these games and we're bad at them and we try to be good and we still fail. That is the last vestige of gaming humility.
Okay.
What will we do if we're good at those games? It'll never happen. I mean, Conrad was watching me play and just sighing over the weekend.
Right.
I'm getting there, though. But I have a little tiny quick news. A lot of you probably know, but in case you don't, Dennis Hopper, very important, very famous actor, and he is dead now. But the reason you might care is that you young kids might have not seen a very important movie. A movie called Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers.
I saw it when I
saw this in the theater.
I got a story, right? So it was my friend's birthday party. Right?
Oh.
And for the birthday party, we were all going down to see this movie in the movie theater. But the projector broke, saving us. And we went to the town baseball field and played baseball for like an hour. But I later saw the movie, of course, but it was this weird fate that had, I should have listened to The Omen and not seen.
You know what? You didn't listen to The Omen to not see Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I knew.
I'm trying to remember. You guys were all like, we're going to see Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, fuck you guys. No.
It's weird because in my memory, right? It's like I always remember, like, there was no way that I ever expected that to be good. Right?
Yeah.
Never. But I'm trying to think, like, why did I actually go to see it?
And to this day.
Like, everyone was going to see it, and I went with everyone to go see it.
Were you all infected by some sort of ghost in the shell, like brain virus?
I don't know why, because at no point did I have an expectation of the quality being high.
Because I remember you guys were all on AIM, and you're like, come on, we're going. I'm like, no, seriously, no, I'm not coming. No. Why are you going? And Pete came back and he was like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I was like, what did you expect?
I'd never expected it to be good. I don't know why I went. I definitely wouldn't go if it came out today.
Dennis Hopper played King Koopa. And as bad as that movie was, it had two things that it got right. One, it treated the Babam with the proper amount of respect.
That was like the only thing in the movie that was Mario accurate.
And King Koopa, played by Dennis Hopper, pretty hilarious.
What in the movie was not hilarious?
Well, hilarious and good. I think he was good. He played the part as best it could have been played.
We asked you that yesterday before he was dead.
I still would have said, you know what? King Koopa played that part really well.
No. I don't even know who this guy is. What is he? Is he famous for anything else? I'm sure he's not just famous for being King Koopa, because then he wouldn't be famous.
Easy Rider.
I don't know what that is.
You've never seen Easy Rider?
I'm moving the camera around by accident.
Good game.
It's attached to a chair.
Oh no, some Ustream got into the audio show.
Shit.
Good game.
Well, so why you helped it along right there? That was
so
not
you got
necessary.
any actual news for me or anything?
It's sort of news, but not. I don't know how much news it is. But basically, there's this thing called Super Mario Brothers X.
There's this thing called Super Mario Brothers.
No, Super Mario Brothers X, right? And it's a game. It's free. You can go to this website, download it. It's an EXE. It just runs, right? And basically, what it is the ultimate Mario engine. It contains, basically, it's everything that's in Super Mario All-Stars. So everything from Super Mario 1, 2, 3, and World, basically the real Mario games, right? It has every single power-up, Hammer Suit, Tanuki Suit, Kuribo's Shoe, everything, a whole bunch of Yoshis, new Yoshis they invented. It's crazy, right? I bet this Hammer Yoshi, I don't even know, right? And you can play co-op mode with Mario and Luigi at the same time.
What does it do if you get too far apart?
It split screens it, and then it will unsplit screen when you're close together again.
Oh, man.
And it's got, like, an editor, so you can basically make levels, and a real-time editor, so you can edit while you're playing. And you can create episodes in a Mario 3 or Mario World-styled map, but you can also create a Mario 64-style map where there's a hub world that lets you collect stars from other worlds. And basically, you can just, this is the thing to make the ultimate Mario game on. And I think it comes with, there's 3 different worlds that you can get already. There's the Princess Cliché, the Great Castle Adventure, and the Invasion. Great Castle Adventure sounds like my kind of time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of the castles the most.
The castles or the mansions?
But I'm going to get this going on my Windows running HTPC, get a couple Xbox controllers, and who needs new Super Mario Brothers? This is going to be way better than that, right?
Oh, man. I'm actually kind of excited about playing that.
Yeah. I mean, this is totally not legitimate in any way, shape, or form. It's probably infringing on all sorts of copyrights. And they put up a nice big message like, we love Nintendo, don't sue us, blah, blah, blah. But I downloaded it already, so what you going to do?
Yeah, it's free.
Take their website down. Go ahead.
It's going to be on BitTorrent forever.
I got me a copy, so that's the end of that. I suggest you also grab one soon. This is going to be fun.
It's funny. It's a Mario night because it turns out... Now... For all of us...
we've done a lot of Mario stuff on the show because I was working on I'll talk about that later. But
No.
There's a lot of Mario stuff, but there hasn't been a lot of Mario lately.
No, not lately. We haven't been playing Mario games. We haven't been playing Nintendo games. I mean, I'm playing Street Fighter on my Xbox and StarCraft.
Yep. You actually played some StarCraft?
Yeah, God. I remember that I sucked at StarCraft. Like, I just wasn't good at it, and I'd be slow, and then all this shit just comes and kills me, and I can never do anything. So I'm playing in the beta, and I underestimated how fucking bad I am at that game. Jesus Christ.
You just lose immediately.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I got to build a thing. I got to harvest the 2 kind. Shit, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Great.
That's pretty much how it rolls.
But for anyone who's old school, you know the answer to this already. But the video, 1, is very well done, very short, and 2, it harkens back to an earlier time. Someone did a Mythbusters style kind of treatment of the old myth. When you're a kid, it's like 1988, and your friend down the street is like, hey, stop moving the camera, Scott.
I'm trying to figure out where it should be.
He's like, it's right where it should be. It was fine until you moved it.
Stop bringing it into the show.
So the kid down the street is like, hey, I jumped over the flagpole. And you're like, bullshit. Bull fucking shit. There's no way you jumped over that flagpole. And maybe you fight with each other. Maybe like one kid has a Game Genie. He's like, here, let's use the Game Genie to jump over the flagpole. And of course, with the Game Genie, you can jump over the flagpole. Not that hard. But there was always the legend, could you do it without the Game Genie? And before there was a Game Genie, could you do it? And what's back there? This was back in the day when NES games were mystical. They were like magical places. There was shit back there.
It wasn't even just NES games. Pretty much every game was mystical, right? They'd be like, oh man, in Mortal Kombat 2, they've got all these allities that you don't even know. You can see people's... You can see boobs. You can see everything. You just got to do it right. They were...
You want to bring General Leo back to life? spoilers, by the way, walked back and forth in front of his grave 99,999 times.
And did you do it?
I didn't, but I know people who did, or at least tried.
It doesn't work, does it?
But the worst thing is, some of those myths were totally legit, like the way to get the pink puff tail and then get the extra item from the adamant guy in Silvertown in Final Fantasy IV.
Warmech.
Warmech scared the ever-living shit out of me. The only reason I suspected at all that he really existed was because Nintendo Power told me.
Yeah, you could see, that's the thing, is if there wasn't like a Nintendo Power that told you everything, then how could, and the thing was, you always suspected, but what if they don't know everything, right?
I mean, imagine this, you're a kid.
In those days, the game developers weren't just giving their codes to some strategy guide, right? Or, they were actually secret stuff.
And the tech to dump a ROM was not in the hands of the majority of people, let alone analyze a ROM. I mean, imagine if you're playing, right? And, you're near the end of the game, and you hit Warmech, and he just kills you. And you tell your friends, and none of them in all the experimenting they can do ever see a Warmech again, and you never see a Warmech again.
Yeah, and you didn't take a picture.
But, those days are long gone. But this video really brought back a lot of nostalgia for me because they took one of those things and they did something that out of love for people who were done.
Is this your news or your thing of the day?
It's my news.
Okay.
I just thought it was cool.
I was like, at what point are we at in the show here? It seems like thing of the day material.
It's a cool Mario thing, and, think about it. This is an era of gaming that can never come back, at least not anytime in the near future, where there will be mysteries that aren't just solved by game facts or walkthroughs.
But how was this news, though?
Because it was a new thing, and it was cool. What other gaming news is there?
Nothing.
StarCraft 2 is coming. Bionic Commando Rearm 2 is coming. All the stuff we already talked about, and stuff we don't care about. Yeah?
It just doesn't seem like, at least mine is pretends to be news, because hey, this thing came out. That's the news.
Mine is new.
All right, whatever.
So anyway, things of the day. I guess I did 2 things of the day since my news wasn't news enough. But you may not know who this is if you don't pay attention to pop culture, but Keisha or however you want to say it, made a song. You might recognize it.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ, blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
And I inexplicably like the song. I actually found out about it from the stupid Simpsons opener that was done to it. And then I saw the music video for it, and I like the chorus, but the lyrics are like 80s bratty, and I kind of hate that part. But all that aside, for some reason, this song, well, no, for many reasons, generated a lot of internet and musical hate. So someone made a remix, a pretty awesome remix, mashup, if you will, of the TikTok song, mashed up with Black Eyed Peas, Shut Up. And it's pretty fucking fantastic.
All right, you played a part of it. I don't get it.
It's music. It's good dancing music. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. It doesn't sound so great to me.
All right. Well, what do you like? What music are you listening to right now?
Right now?
Yeah. What do you listen to? Like what?
Like old.
How old? Like Baroque?
Like late 1800s.
That's what you're listening to right now?
Yeah.
Name a song.
Like Dvorak and shit.
All right. Can you name any song he wrote?
The New World Symphony.
Can you name another one?
Anyway,
what do you got for me?
Pandora just sort of takes care of it for me. I don't really, look.
All right. So anyway, what do you got for me?
So my thing of the day is far superior to your thing of the day.
I don't know. This is pretty awesome.
No, your thing of the day is shit.
Shut
all
up.
right, so,
just shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, you want to shut up, but you can't handle this Russian Hobbit illustration.
That's not the Hobbit. That's the Zobdint.
Check out how fucking badass the illustrated Russian Hobbit is. Look at that shit.
Oh my God. Who
set.
illustrated it?
Some Russian dude. Look at Bilbo's hairy fucking legs and
You mean Bibimbap?
right? Gandalf's like wry smile, like, oh yeah, pimping Gandalf the wizard.
Oh my God. You know what I want? I'm telling you right now. I want to make a poster of one of those pages and put it on the wall.
Arguing ogres, right? Friggin' nasty dwarves, all greedy and shit.
All right, right. I'm saying it straight up. If I can, I'm gonna blow those up. Make a series of like.
Look at Gollum hanging out in the water.
I'm making a series of frame posters based on that and putting it on my wall.
All Wait. You got to check out the awesome
You know what
spiders.
it's very reminiscent of? It's very reminiscent of the illustrations in the
Look at
Moomin
those-
books.
Look at those spiders.
You ever read like the Moomin Valley books?
No, not really.
You'd like them. Similar illustrations.
Yeah, but you know what? They got check out the sleeping smog. Oh shit! Watch out, invisible hobbit, come and take your gold.
Zobnit.
Something.
The Zobnit from Pachner.
Right?
That's pretty badass.
Oh no, Smog got arrowed.
Oh my god, look at his face. He's like, oh no.
Let's see. You want to do some Hobbit trivia? Who is the name of the guy who arrowed Smog?
Oh, fucking hell. I read that book when... You know what? I haven't read The Hobbit since my age was single digits.
Really?
I forget his name, but he was the human from the town. He had the black sheathed arrow.
That's right.
And he only had one.
Yep.
But it couldn't miss, so only needed one.
Yep.
I forgot his name.
I also forgot his name. That's why it was a typical trivia question. I'm looking it up.
Oh, I should have been like, yeah, that's Jobo, the archery dude.
Bard shot his black arrow into Smog's left breast.
I gotta read The Hobbit again.
The armor's weak spot, killing him. Anyway, this actually is sort of a double thing of the day because this appears on a blog called EnglishRussia.com. And you know what?
Wait a minute. Is that just like the English.com of Russia?
No, it's basically just awesome shit from Russia.
I like stuff from Russia in a big way. Like, Russia has always been my go-to place for cool stuff.
The subtitle of the site is Only in Russia. It has everything from like graduating girls hanging out in the water to like stuff in the supermarket that has swastikas on it, to the saltiest lake, to crazy Ukrainians at a soccer game, to a truck full of alcohol that crashed.
Oh, wow.
Right? Here's some college girls hanging out in the fountain.
I am a big fan of that Zobnit from Pachner.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, meta moment.
The meta moment.
So the book club is Cosmos, which I'm reading right now.
We're going to finish it. We're going to do it Thursday unless something
2
weird
days
comes up.
from now, which, you know, if you're listening, maybe is already past that day. Who knows? Also, I did a whole bunch of updating to the website, frontrowrecruit.com. Most of it you will not notice yet because it is all stuff that is behind the scenes.
It's basically setting up for awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be more awesome. I'm going to keep working on it and doing a bunch of stuff. Most of the stuff I'm going to do in the at first is basically to make our jobs easier, you know, to make posting the show a lot less work. But in the longer run, we're going to start changing other things. If you notice errors on the site, if there's any broken links, if there's anything you would like to see changed, if there's anything we could do that would actually make you want to visit the site, because I know that almost nobody visits it. Everyone just goes to the forum or just goes to iTunes and never comes to frontrecruit.com. Let me know. I'm going to try to figure out how to do some like collaborative show notes and all sorts of stuff to try to make you visit it. So visit it.
Yeah, we're coming up in. A lot of you have been joining the forums lately.
Gonna try to add a video section eventually, you know, that kind of stuff. It's good times.
Yep, and of course, you know, conventions, ConnecticCon's coming up in about a month in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, July 9th, 10th, and 11th. So keep that up. I'm not going to go into our list of panels or everything, but we're the heads of panels, so all the panels kind of have our seal of approval.
Gee, well,
as best as we could.
Yeah, I mean, we needed a lot of panels to fill the schedule, which, you know, we had to accept pretty much all the panels, right?
And
Most of
PAX
them.
East, PAX West, New York Anime Festival, Comic-Con combined, MagFest, all that stuff is coming up off on the horizon.
Yep. And
the only other thing we got to
meta?
watch out, Libsyn is being kind of a cock lately. So,
right.
So if you ever hear an advertisement on Geeknights, let us know immediately.
Even if it's just something at the beginning of the show that's like, hey, Libsyn, this is hosted on Libsyn.
Because they're already on notice. So if an ad so much as comes your way in any capacity, it wasn't fucking us, and the shit will fly.
And
We
if
do
anyone-
not advertise.
If anyone knows like a legitimate alternative to Libsyn, right, let us know right away, right? Basically what we need is something that is reliable, like guaranteed to host our stuff, you know, for reals, and has basically infinity bandwidth and won't cost a fortune.
Yes, because if it costs a fortune, Amazon S3 is not that much money. We'll go to that instead.
Yeah, that would cost us like $200 a month, whereas Libsyn's like 30 something.
Yeah,
so
but
we need
basically-
it has to be a reasonable amount of money. It's like we would pay $50 a month, but we would not pay $200.
Remember this, kids. We're trucking for you. We'll move from $30 a month to $200 a month just to not have ads in our show.
I'm not moving to 200. You pay for it.
Well, we'll split it.
No,
So
no,
what? You gonna let
100
ads be in the show?
for $100 a month is too much money.
You're gonna let ads be in the show then? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna find some other
What do
solution.
you do? What do you do?
I'll find something.
Shoot the hostage, I guess. But
I will do everything I can
do you
to find some
I'm
alternative.
curious because I know Daryl Surratt would get that joke. Do you get it anytime I reference what do you do? What do you do? Because the answer to that is shoot the hostage. Do you have any idea what movie that's from?
I remember that there was a movie where you shoot the hostage, but I forget which movie it was.
I'm just curious. I feel all right. You're
I
not.
think
I'm not
I've
gonna,
seen like part of it.
It's a Charlie Sheen movie.
It was some movie. I remember there were like guys in an elevator when he's going to shoot the hostage or something like that. And then they were in a parking lot. I don't
So
remember.
anyway, speaking of shooting, there's a board game that is basically a prettied up simulation of Russian roulette, and we really like it.
It's not Russian roulette.
It's Zooloretto. It's basically like Russian Zoulette.
No, it's not. It has nothing to
All right,
it is
So here's the game. You've got 5 people sitting around a table. You've got 5 pistols with 3 chambers each, and you put bullets or animals in them.
There's no bullets. There's nothing bad that you can put in there.
I'll point out that if I've got, monkeys and giraffes, and I've got my setup, I got no more free spots for animals, and I don't need giraffes, and you put 3 giraffes in that gun, that is 3 bullets in that train.
I'm pretty sure you only lose points for type of animal in your barn, right?
All right, so if I don't
or
need
is
a
it
giraffe,
or is it individual animal in
it's
your barn?
per each type in your zoo or in the barn, I think.
Yeah, so it's type in the barn, right? It's not number of total in the barn. So if you have 3 different guys in your barn, that sucks worse than having 3 giraffes in the barn.
Yeah, still a bullet. I don't want to take it.
No, but the thing is, it might not be a bullet for anyone else. So it's far
So
more.
they're selective bullets.
It's far more advanced.
Like in A Lesson is Learned, but the damage is irreversible with the love gun.
It's far more advanced than Russian roulette. It's not even close.
Scott actually played this game before me. He was
Yeah,
at something.
I've played it 2 times now. I think you've only played it 1 time.
Yep, but it's
the
a
first
Spiel
time
des
I
Jahres.
played, I won. Right, I did really well. The second time I played, I just sucked
Yep.
so bad. That was awful.
It was just awful.
Oh, it was absolutely awful.
But the thing is, if you're looking for a board game to play, it won the Spiel des Jahres, so it's worth buying. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're looking for recommendations to buy board games, you can listen to us, or just go to Board Game Geek and play the top 20.
That's pretty much it, right?
Because 18 of those games are great.
Yeah. But basically, the way Zooloretto works is you got the zoo, and you got to get animals in the zoo, right? And there's three different patches, 3 different exhibits in your zoo, and you can unlock the 4th exhibit, which you pretty much have to do to win, right? And you want to fill each exhibit with 1 kind of animal. You can't mix the animals. You can't have the elephants and the giraffes together. That doesn't work. You got to have, so you want to get 4 kinds of animals, and you don't want any other kinds, right? Every other kind you get, all your extra animals, you have to tie them up in the barn. And that's costs you money, but no one can visit the animals in the barn, so you don't get any points for that. You lose points for paying for animals to stay in the barn. So you want to get rid of those guys. So basically, there's these trucks that deliver animals, and every turn, everyone takes turns. Every round, everyone takes turns filling up the trucks with animals from the savannah, I guess, or wherever the poachers collect them from.
The zoo next door.
Right, wherever the animals come from. So they get piled on the trucks, and the animals mix freely on the trucks.
Now, this is the fun part because you got these, 5 players, there's 5 trucks. It's kind of like musical chairs of the animals at this point. Every round, you draw one of these tiles, and you think, all right, what truck do I put it on? So say there's a truck that has 2 monkeys, and I know Scott wants monkeys. I put a fucking bear on that truck.
And I don't want bears. So basically, Rim is saying, aha, Scott, if you want, to take these 2 monkeys, you're going to have to also take this bear. And it's like, And basically what you do is you look at what everyone else wants, and you look at what you got, and you try to make trucks that are going to be good if you take them and bad if other people take them. But the thing is, on your turn, you can either put an animal on a truck or take a truck. You can't do both. So if you draw something that's really good for you, you have to put it on a truck, and then you have to wait for everyone else to take their turn before you have a chance of taking that truck. And you know what? Someone else might take that truck from you. So if you make these really good trucks, someone else is just going to take them and leave you with a crappy truck.
And there's some things that can go into the trucks like a coin or a vending stand that are always good.
Yep.
Just, oh, great. They're just points. So you
But they're
gotta,
still not as good as animals that are your kind of animal. Nothing
depends.
and then, right, on top of that, there's most animals are too young and genderless, but there are a few animals that have gone through puberty and can make baby.
now that's where some of the
So if you can get like a male giraffe and a female giraffe, you get a free giraffe when you get them together in your zoo.
now that is the aspect of the game. I mean, this is one of those board games that really brings out the German board gamer style, playing with the theme, making lewd jokes about smashing sheep into wood, and it really comes out strong in Zooloretto.
Yep. Lots of babby making jokes there. The thing is, let's say you don't have room for the babby.
No babby.
Oh, no, you get him. He just goes in the barn.
All right. And even if you've got a pen full of monkeys, you got one more monkey in the barn, well, that's points.
Yeah.
Negative points.
And then there's the money, right, which you can get from coins and from other things. Like if you fill up an area of your zoo, you get coins. And basically you can use the coins as a corrective measure, right? So it's like, oh shit, I need to unlock the next area of my zoo, so I'll pay coins. Or I need to move these animals, I put them in the wrong section of the zoo. Well, you can use coins. Basically, you can use coins to correct for mistakes that you have made or for things that you didn't really make a mistake, but, the odds and the way things turned out, it didn't go your way. If you get enough coins, you can sort of fix it a little bit. You can use coins to get an animal out of someone else's barn, which helps them out, but it also helps you out because you get the animal you want. And, it gives them a coin also, so then they can correct for something that they messed up a little bit. And the game ends when I think there's no more animals, right?
I think so. I forget exactly.
No. There's a stack of tiles on the table, and when the bag of animals runs out, you start using the stack. But then as soon as you start using the stack at the end of that round, game over.
Now, I really like that mechanic. And, I wonder if we could make a slight variation to Tigris and Euphrates to use a mechanic like that.
Where we just take some tiles out, put them in a stack, and then when the bag's empty, you start using the stack.
Yeah, and then we have some sort of like end run condition, like everyone gets a turn. Something. I think we could come up with an interesting variation.
The game doesn't need fixing, all right?
Yeah, it's a little stagnant.
Worry about fixing other games that need fixing.
I mean, the only little bit of stagnant stuff I think we could mitigate just by making a slightly different board.
Yeah, I definitely think the board could,
Yeah, it's just interesting because, you wonder when a game that was 99% perfect was made, and then years later someone has another game that has a similar mechanic and they do one thing slightly differently and slightly better. Like, you wonder what effect that would have on the older game.
Yep.
That maybe they just didn't think of it.
Yep.
There's not that much else to say about Zooloretto. It's a fun, light game. It's not solved by us yet. We only played it twice.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of, so you got a little bit of that chicken going on. Like,
Yep. Like that game where you pass the cards around with the tokens on them.
Yep. It's it's like a game of chicken. It's like, all right, I'm going to stay in this. I'm not going to take a truck. I'm going to put another animal out there.
Which is also a lot like Ra with the Egyptian slot machine. You're like, I'm going to keep going. Yeah, well, I'm going to keep going. Yeah,
the difference is that in Ra, there's one shared slot machine, whereas in this, it's there's separate ones. There's one for each player. So everyone's going to get one every turn. It's just a matter of which one you get and what's on it. Yeah.
Now, the cool thing is, it was made by Michael Schacht, and he also made another game called Coloretto, which is basically the same game.
It's the same game, but it's just a card game, right? It's like a small portable version, if
and
I'm not mistaken.
And I think there's an expansion, Aquaretto. I've never seen this in person. But
oh, dude, I've never seen or heard of that.
I don't know if it's out yet, but a couple of people have mentioned it when I was poking around.
Oh, let's see. Wait, there's Coloretto, and there's Coloretto Amazonas.
Oh, man. There's also expansions for Zooloretto, like a petting zoo and some other stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a Spiel this year winning game.
So, of course, he's going to have expansions and all that.
There's 3 coworker tiles for Aquaretto.
Ah.
So there's all sorts of... So Aquaretto has a dolphin on the cover. The Amazonas Coloretto has the toucan. The regular Coloretto has a chameleon. Ha, 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 ha.
The main good thing about this game is that you can whip it out in, 20 minutes or a half hour.
It's one of those ones that's really quick to learn. It's easy to play. Kids can play it. Old people can play it.
It's a great game. If you want to play...
Definitely, I think it's actually, to be perfectly honest, right? You always say, if you're introducing someone to a German board game, use Settlers. You know what? I think Zooloretto's better than that. If someone has only played non-good board games, the first good board game that they should play is probably Zooloretto.
Well, you know what? It depends.
Because it's even more, it's got the same sort of fun accessibility of Carcassonne, but it's easier.
I think it depends
just as good.
on who the person is. I mean, someone like me, before I'd seen a German board game,
Okay, yeah, Settlers would be a better choice for a rim type
you jump
person.
right, you know, someone who you know will get it. If you just show them that the game is not random bullshit like Monopoly, then Settlers is fine. Hell, Puerto Rico is probably fine for someone like that. But for someone who, you know, you're not sure, Zooloretto is probably going to get him because it's super fun, super short. And if you want to play a German board game with a bunch of other German board gamers, but none of you have a game in common, a situation we run into a lot at Nerd NYC, where I just want to play a game I already know. I just want to have fun, play a game, but no matter what game I pick, at least one person at the table has never played it. So I'm going to have to teach for like an hour. This game takes 20 minutes to teach, 20 minutes to play.
Yep. It's really quick to play Zooloretto. It's real easy to learn. It's pretty just great all around.
Now, one thing, it's going to be on the Wii as far as I can tell. And
I think it's already on the iPhone
and the iPad Touch.
iPad, yeah.
We'll see when I'll bet they're going to make an iPad version at some point soon.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, it's, you know, how this kind of game can become really popular all around.
And you know what? I think that's about it. Short show, but there's not that much to say.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
I'm thinking about getting one of the card versions because that's something you can carry around with you everywhere and play at any moment, right? It's like Dominion, you could play at any moment, but you to carry a big box of cards.
I'm just going to buy Zooloretto.
I definitely need like a couple games that are like the small individual, right? The games I have that are just a pack of cards.
Yep.
You know, like say, or like a
Moiterer.
Flux. Yeah, something like that. They're more complicated, whatever. You know, I really need a game like, you know, the Zooloretto, Coloretto kind of game where it's just a small thing of cards, ultra portable, but you can whip it out and play it with anybody at any time. Just strangers, freaking anybody.
Children.
Yep.
In the parking lot.
Old people.
I think I'll buy Zooloretto and Alcroletto, though, because I need to own more games that I can bring to like an event that is gamey, but isn't like super Germany, to just start introducing more people to these games.
But it's still quality.
Yep. Because I really, especially now I'm in the city, I have a vested interest in just finding people and being like, look, these games are awesome, play them, because it'll spread rapidly through social circles that I think can come right back to me and make more players for myself. I'm going to try this out. I want to see if I can personally expand the sphere of German gaming in like Manhattan in the next few years.
Go for it.
Yeah. It's worth a shot. And I can bring it home and play it with like my mom.
Yep.
All right, we'll just stop right there. I think that's a good show. This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geeknights is not one, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.
It's Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Rim. Are you yawning? Let's try this again. It's Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Rim.
I was yawning.
Again.
No, I just said I was yawning about the previous time.
It's Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Rim. Scott's
Scott.
yawning.